In the opening sentence, I'm going to talk about Muslims and Scottish independence. Now, that's going to send some people rushing to their keyboard with rage. But if it weren't for Muslims, Scotland may not even exist today. This, over my shoulder, is the Islamic Centre in Stirling. I suppose it's my local. I don't go there. But I do want to tell you about a time a Muslim saved Scotland in an unexpected way. But to do it, we need to go south of the border. If you're interested in the people, places and events in Scottish history, then click the subscribe button at the bottom right of the screen and ring the notification bell to be told when I upload new videos. In the meantime, let me tell you a story. This is Alnwick Castle. Several times in our history, in several different ways, England has exerted control over Scotland. On more than one occasion near here, we've made things worse. Now, some people are going to get caught up in modern day politics, but I made a video called 5 Times Scotland Was Free, explaining 5 times that we lost, then regained independence from England. Each form of subjugation and release was different, from personal oaths between men of power to the modern nation state. But one of them started very near here. David I of Scotland had controlled the lands down here. Technically, they were lands in England and he held them from the English king. But there was no doubt who was boss in the area. When David's son predeceased him, Scotland was left to the grandkids. At the very time that his great-nephew, the vigorous and hugely successful Archbishop murdering Henry II had come to the English throne. Long story short, Henry had taken his territory back from David I's first grandson. David I's first grandson. His eldest male heir, Malcolm IV. Now, when he died, grandson number 2, William I, was on the Scottish throne, and he wanted the lands of his grandfather back. But no amount of diplomatic manoeuvring, asking nicely, or even sucking up to Henry by campaigning with him in Normandy had done the trick. But William wasn't the only person who had a grudge against Henry. So, when the French king and Henry's own wife and sons took up arms against the hard-nosed English king, and they promised William's grandsons lands back when they came to power, you couldn't blame William for taking their side. He was only doing what medieval kings did. It didn't go well. William was captured by English forces not far from here. Now, for more details, see my video, The King Who Lost Scotland. But when he was delivered to Henry II of England, the only way that William could get himself released was to agree to hand over everything. And when I say everything, I mean Edinburgh Castle, Roxburgh Castle, Berwick, Jedburgh and Stirling Castle, as well as giving Henry the keys to the kingdom. Oh, and by the way, the English garrisons of these castles would be maintained at William's expense, and Henry would get to choose William's wife. I suppose it could have been worse. When his great-granddad Malcolm Canmore raided across the border, he got killed just a mile down the road there. Every cloud. This is the ruins of the churchyard where Malcolm Canmore was laid to rest after the Battle of Alnwick. The treaty that William agreed with Henry II may have seemed like a fate worse than death. It required him to be strapped face down to a table, buck naked, but for a pair of leather chaps and an apple rammed in his gaping mouth. I may have taken that too far. But the point is that the Treaty of Falaise in December 1174 meant that Scotland was under the English yoke. Now, some of you might say, oh, but it's really just that William was under Henry's yoke. But let me quote from the treaty. William, King of Scots, has become liege man of the Lord King Henry against every man in respect of Scotland and in respect of all his other lands. And all the bishops and abbots and clergy of the King of Scots and their successors shall do fealty to the Lord King Henry. The Scottish Church shall make submission to the English Church as it ought to do. The earls also and barons and such other men holding land from the King of Scots as the Lord King Henry may select shall also do homage. This treaty permeated the lives of nobility, clergy, judiciary, right down to the lowly cowherd. It was certainly enough to motivate rebellions amongst disaffected folks on the edges of William's kingdom in Galloway, Murray and Ross. Rebellions that William would need Henry's permission to deal with. You can imagine his frustration. 13 long years this insufferable subjugation went on for. So what stopped it? Okay, from our perspective, 13 years isn't long. But as we'll see, the impact lasted much longer. In the year 1187, many miles from here, in temperatures that Scots could only imagine. But it was a wee bit like Benidorm and Glasgow for your fortnight. 30,000 Muslim troops marched under the banner of Saladin. They had lured the king of the Crusader Kingdom of Jerusalem and his army into a trap. In Middle Eastern July temperatures, they trekked across desert and now found themselves dehydrated, choking for water at the mercy of a larger Muslim force. And then they were destroyed. With King Guy of Jerusalem captured and his army defeated, Saladin headed for the Holy City. And on the 20th of September, 1187, it fell. However unlikely that might seem, this was Scotland's salvation. When Pope Urban III heard the news, he dropped down dead. A new pope popped up and issued a papal bull saying that all Christians should take the cross for a new crusade. Who would be first? Now, I'm taking the opportunity to film south of the border because tonight I'll be performing my stand-up show Stories of Scotland here in the Stand, Newcastle. I'll also be taking the show all over Scotland and we'll have some more dates south of the border in the new year. We're even going to Canada. Click the link top right for dates and tickets or find the link in the description below. Oh, and tell me in the comment section what town you'd like me to bring the show to be with you. Within weeks of the call going out, Henry II's son Richard strode into the cathedral in Tours, and like his grandfather had done 60 years before, in the presence of the Archbishop of Tours, he took the oath of a crusading knight. Now, folks in the comment section might say, well, Richard was French, he was from Aquitaine, he barely spent any time in England. But you go to any England rugby match and you'll notice that every fancy dress shop the length and breadth of England's been emptied of Richard the Lionheart costumes as the English crowds sing Jerusalem. Obviously, you don't quite have to up and go to a crusade just like that. Planning has to be done. Your dad, the King of England, and your pal, the King of France, have got to put aside their differences and agree to go too. Money has to be raised, costumes had to be designed, and the key players have to fall out all over again before your dad dies in ignominious circumstances, and all that's going to take a couple of years, by which time you're now the king. But you're still strapped for a bit of cash to fund this Muslim killing venture that you've committed yourself to. Thank goodness for the generosity of the Scots. You see, William I of Scotland has got some cash. And now you're King of England, you have something that he wants. Henry II died on the 6th of July, 1189. In 5 months, in a world before emails, Richard became king. Word got back to William in Scotland. William offered Richard 10,000 merks in return for release from the Treaty of Falaise. Richard had accepted, the documents had been drawn up, and William was ready to move into his new old castles and throw out the lodgers. So on the 5th of December, 1189, the quitclaim of Canterbury was sealed. Know ye that we have restored to our most dearly beloved cousin William, by the same grace, King of the Scots, his castles of Roxburgh and Berwick, to be held by him and his heirs forever as his own of hereditary right. We have also acquitted and released him of and from all covenants and agreements which Henry, King of England, our father of happy memory, extorted from him by new charters and in consequence of his capture. For 15 years, Scotland had been subject to England. Thanks to Saladin, it was once more free. At least for now. Although we never quite got Northumbria back. Now, I'm pretty sure that Saladin neither knew nor cared about the consequences for Scotland. He just wanted what he saw as Muslim lands back. He was just doing what Middle Eastern potentates do. While Scotland was once more independent, the Treaty of Falaise had changed the landscape of these islands forever. English monarchs did what English monarchs do. From Edward Longshanks through to Henry VIII, they looked back to the Treaty of Falaise and conveniently forgot the quitclaim of Canterbury, insisting that Scotland belonged to them. Now the fact is that Christians, Muslims, Scots, English, Normans, kings, prelates and potentates, they do what they do, and the world speeds by. If you'd rather see this from the point of view of this island and a Christian saint, then there's a video coming up on screen. Give us a thumbs up and support the channel by clicking top right to become a Patreon member. In the meantime, Hammy and Doch is going to be Lam Alive. Cheery and Rasta.